Alright, let's dive into something that's been bubbling under the surface lately. China's slowing economy and how it's rippling through industries you might not expect, like photography. Here's the thing, just a few years ago, China was the golden child of global growth. Companies, including camera manufacturers, were riding high on those projections. But now, the tide has turned, and it's not just a blip, it's a full-on shift. Personally, I think this is one of those stories where the details are way more fascinating than the headlines. Let me explain. First, let's talk about why China's economy is slowing down. It's not just one thing, it's a perfect storm. Youth unemployment is through the roof, sitting at around 15%. That's insane, especially when you consider China has laws specifically designed to boost college graduate employment. What this really suggests is that even government intervention isn't enough to fix structural issues. And then there's the housing market. Prices in cities like Shenzhen are skyrocketing, while wages aren't keeping up. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a recipe for reduced consumer spending. And that's exactly what's happening. Now, here's where it gets interesting for us photography nerds. China was supposed to be the next big thing for camera brands. In 2025, it was the fastest growing photography market globally. But fast forward to now, and the numbers are telling a different story. Sony, Nikon, and other big players are revising their projections downward, specifically pointing to China's demand contraction. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about fewer cameras being sold, it's about the entire ecosystem. Lenses, accessories, even memory cards are feeling the pinch. One thing that immediately stands out is how reliant the industry had become on China's growth. Diversifying revenue streams seemed like a smart move, but now it feels like a gamble that didn't pay off. From my perspective, this raises a deeper question. What happens when a market that was supposed to be a growth engine suddenly stalls? For camera brands, it's not just about lost sales, it's about innovation. If revenue drops, R&D budgets get slashed, and that means fewer groundbreaking features in future cameras. Personally, I think we're already seeing the early signs of this. Fewer releases, incremental updates instead of major overhauls, it's all connected to the economic slowdown. But here's the kicker. It's not just China's economy that's the problem. The global memory crisis is making things even worse. AI data centers are eating up memory chips, leaving camera manufacturers scrambling for parts. What makes this really interesting is how interconnected these issues are. A slowing economy, a memory shortage, and a shifting consumer landscape, it's like a triple threat for the camera industry. If you're a photographer or just someone who loves tech, this should be on your radar. So, where does this leave us? In my opinion, we're looking at a period of adjustment. Camera brands will likely focus on cost-cutting and maximizing profits rather than pushing the boundaries of innovation. That doesn't mean photography is doomed, far from it. But it does mean we need to temper our expectations. A detail I find fascinating is how quickly things can change. Just a couple of years ago, China was the future. Now, it's a cautionary tale. As I wrap this up, I'm left thinking about the bigger picture. The camera industry is a microcosm of global economic trends. What's happening in China isn't just a local issue, it's a warning sign for anyone in consumer electronics. So, the next time you pick up your camera, remember, the photos you take might be timeless, but the industry behind them? It's constantly evolving. And right now, it's at a crossroads. What do you think? Are we headed for a slowdown in innovation, or will the industry find a way to adapt? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.